My name is David Gomez Robinson. I'm 33 years old from Phoenix, Arizona, and I've been in healthcare for about 11 years now. I started in healthcare as a CNA, a certified nursing assistant, and while doing that, I went and got my RN, where I then worked to get my bachelor's in science and nursing, and now I hold my master's in science and nursing with an emphasis in health informatics. The amount of documentation that nurses are having to do on a daily basis is just becoming too much for their 12-hour shift. So I wanted to get in a position where a nurse could make a difference in decreasing the workload of nurses and doctors and pretty much everyone in the hospital. Now I work on a small team for our county hospital over in Phoenix, where we really take the ideas of nurses and doctors and see how we can implement those to reduce the workload of our healthcare workers that are providing hands-on care at this time. There was this new hospital that was built by our house, and on my way to work at my first job, I'd pass it every single day, and I used to think people in there make a difference, like they have an impact, and what they do means something. So at that time, I didn't know what nursing was, didn't know what a day-to-day nurse did, but it's something that I felt like I could feel accomplished. I could go home feeling like I did something, like I made a change. I would say nursing is probably the only job I've ever worked where I felt like I had an impact on a patient and really made a change. And it can be something so small as helping someone getting cleaned up, or it could be something much larger than that. We literally have saved lives, but I think it really comes down to the smaller things. Those have much more of a larger impact. I used to work on a unit where we took care of patients who suffered from a stroke, and they lose ability on one side of their body. And I offered him a shave because I know I like to be clean shaven every morning, and it's something he wasn't able to do. So it took quite a bit of time. You know, the razors in the hospital are cheap. They're not very sharp, but I got him cleaned up, and after that, the rest of the day, he was glowing. Like, his personality, he was just smiling. He was just so much more happier. And I feel like that small thing has really stuck with me more than other day-to-day things that we do. The most challenging factor that I find with healthcare in general would have to be the amount of documentation requirements that we're placing on our clinical staff. It just really seems as though it's becoming more of a computer job and less of a people job. And the ones that are there at the bedside, they're needed at the bedside. I understand that getting it all in the computer is the right thing to do, but if we can find a balance of how we can equal them out somehow, where they're still getting the right care and we're still getting the stuff that we need, I think that's where we need to head to. The most common thing that I would hear from my patients and family is, so you're going to become a doctor next, or when are you going to become a doctor? Automatically kind of discredits the job that we do, as if being a nurse is not the end point for some, because many of people do go to school to become a nurse. So there's always that question of what's next, and it's constantly kind of burdening on you. And I know it's just small talk, but then you get in your head like, oh, maybe I should go and get my bachelor's, and then what's next? I should go and get my master's. I would say that people misunderstanding that we are nurses and this is what we chose to go to school for. Burnout is real. If you're active nurse on your unit and you're putting in the work, management will easily ask more. Can you take another patient? Or can you take on new grad student, which requires 3 months of precepting until they're on their own. So you're really looking after this individual, looking after yourself, looking after the charting for both of you. It's really important to just kind of take a step back every once in a while and just take care of yourself the way that we take care of these patients. If you're not your best, you're not going to be your best for your patient. Take a break and go eat. Nothing's going to happen. You can get back to whatever you need to do, because nursing really is a 24-hour job. Nursing is a hard job. Going through nursing school is probably the hardest thing that I've ever done. It's not like your normal 2-year degree either. You have your prerequisites of 2 years. You have your RN program of 2 years. So it's really a 4-year degree. It's challenging, but it's really, really rewarding. You can really go home feeling like you did that. You were the change. You really saw that change in someone's eye, like, okay, they were listening. I was super excited because I've been making scrub review videos for probably 5 years at this point. Uniform Advantage reached out to me and they said, we want to support those who support others.